Hi, welcome back to episode 11 of Game Questions. We have quite a few this week on both blogs, so I'm just going to get started and hopefully answer all your questions. So I'm going to head over to the EU blog first. Okay, and the first question is from Omnil. Sorry, I don't know if I said that correctly, but apologies if I didn't. It said on the project page that Dronago arrived at the port of Hamburg on the 10th of September. Is it normal to still have it on project on the water section? Thank you for the question. The freight team have now confirmed that it is important, so we will be moving that to the port section on next week's blog. So behind the scenes, there's a lot of information being passed around from different teams, and sometimes our blog will go out and we'll receive an update that it has actually moved on. So sometimes there can be a little bit of a crossover time with what is published to what is accurate, but we do our best to publish the most accurate information possible. It's just like I said, a lot of teams going around, a lot of information to like publishers and freight and like port staff. So apologies if like on this occasion it is a step behind. But yeah, the freight team have now confirmed that it is in port. So like I said previously, that will now be moved to the next stage on our fulfillment blog. So next question is from Benoid, who has said, Power Rangers Time Force has been arriving project arrival from port for almost 2 months now. I did read about the strike, but is that still the problem? Any update on what's going on and when we'll be getting it? Yes, that is correct. Power Rangers is still currently at port, and that is a bit longer than we usually would expect for a project to be at port, but times can vary depending on what's happening at the time. We are hoping to get it at our EU hub warehouse shortly. However, we have been asked to let you guys know if you want more information to just reach out to the publisher directly for that. Right, that's all the questions from this week's EU blog. So I'm going to head over to the UK blog, and the first question is from Ben. Hello, Ben. And are you dealing with the distribution of Zombicide, Undead or Alive? I know you've dealt with the last few big projects, and to the best of our knowledge, that should be in the water and arriving at the end of the month if it's actually coming your way, of course. Hi Ben, thank you for the comment. We are actually not the fulfillment partner for Zombicide, so we would actually just recommend reaching out to the Kickstarter page or the campaign page to possibly find out who's fulfilling it. Sorry that we're unable to help further on this question. And next is Marty, who has a question for the UK. I noticed on your Felix Store Port Strike update in August you have Everdale, the complete collection, as one of the games you will be awaiting. Since that time, I haven't seen the game on any of your updates. Will this still be fulfilled by GamesQuest? And if so, are there any updates? Hello, Matty. Thank you for the question. You won't find Everdale on our fulfillment blogs, and we would actually just recommend keeping an eye on the Kickstarter page for updates that will be coming directly from the publisher to the backers on this occasion. And the next question is from John. Thank you for the question. Hi, I noticed the War Room is in project data analysis, but I don't know what that means. It would be good if you could let me. It would be good if you could let me have some timescales for fulfillment, and I've been led to believe that War Room was with GamesQuest on the 6th of September. Thanks. So fulfillment time does vary from project to project, and it's great to hear that you sound interested about a bit more what happens throughout fulfillment. So I've passed this on to our team, who I believe are now getting together a blog of some sort, which will give backers more information on what section of the blog refers to and bits and pieces of what's included in that. So if it's already done by the time this video goes out, I will link it below. Otherwise, we will post it on next week's fulfillment blog and so forth going forward. So you can, if you want that information, it will be there. For the War Room, it is currently in project data analysis, which will mean it is on site, which is exciting. I don't currently have the fulfillment date of when the actual, the picking and packing will begin. But as we would just say, keep an eye on our social media pages and the fulfillment blog to follow the process of that in the meantime. But thank you for the question. And the last question is from Andrew, who said, no mention of Skyrim in any of these categories. So we will be fulfilling the EU orders for Skyrim, and we will add that to our EU blog next week. Apologies that hadn't been added before then. However, you're asking about the UK orders, which we aren't fulfilling. So we would probably recommend checking the campaign page out, see if there's any information on who will be fulfilling it, or to just directly reach out to the publisher for this information as well. But yeah, I hope you find the information you're after. But thanks again for the question. So that's it. That's another Games Questions complete. Thank you to everyone who left questions again on this week's blog, and we'll be here again next week. So if you have any questions, make sure to get them on the blog next week. Until then, bye everyone.